Hello, Internet! I have no theme music for these live playthroughs, so welcome. You're straight to me. I hope everyone can hear me okay, because of course I can't hear anything. Welcome. I'm going to be doing something extra fun today. I'm going to be trying out, for the first time, the solo rules for Illimat. Now, Illimat is a delightful, classic feeling card/board game that was created originally. Actually, I've got a story. I can do more than just say what it kind of is. I can just put it right up on the screen. Nope. Well, that's the cover. So yes, this was created by the Decemberists for a photo shoot as a prop. And they decided they were going to create an actual real game. Wow, shocking, right? So together with Twogether Studios, Keith Baker, who created Gloom, which I've got up here, and many other things, they created this game. It's been a bit hard to find, and they have just released a new second edition. Super excited. They've also come out with a new... So this is the Crane Wife expansion. This was already out. But along with the second edition, they've come out with the False Barons set. I'll talk a little bit about what both of those are here in a minute. I'm going to pop that up. I'm going to switch these around. I don't know why I did that. So this is the main board for Illimat. The solo rules come from this little victory book. It's got a handful of different fun stuff, a couple of different wow, a couple of different rule sets that you can use here. Good morning. It is morning for some people. It is evening for me, and I'm a bit of a basket case. I've had this terrible habit recently where I've been doing these streams half asleep. Not great, but I wanted to do this. I'm going off to Layton, Utah, just outside of Salt Lake City, to SaltCon here shortly, so I'm not going to be doing a lot of stuff, and I really just wanted to do something before I left. So here we are. I put up a quick poll, and it was the choice between Illimat or Nevermind the Distraction, which is a meditation game that I actually really love. It will be hitting Kickstarter in a couple of days, actually. I do have a crowdfunding preview video of it that I shot at the Diamond Way Europe Center in Bavaria, southern Germany. So you can watch that on our YouTube channel right now. But I do, probably late next week, might do a stream of that as well. So yay for more things. It is 2:22 here in the UK. Yes. Thank you, Mark, for joining in. We appreciate everybody. Please, if you feed the algorithms, talk to me. I've got Twitch open here. In theory, I can see it. In theory, I can see stuff here. It's just a matter of whether I pay attention to it. Ha! So I'm going to pull this back up. Now, there are a few differences between the regular game of Illimat and the Solitaire version. The main one is these little things called ocuses. These are worth points in the main game. You can, in theory, have your own. That was a very that you put into the game. These don't get used at all, so we're just going to put those over there. This is the Illimat. It's a little hard to see on the screen, I think, but you've got different seasons, and it does. Each of these fields is impacted by what those seasons are. Let me pull out two things. So the Crane Wife is just luminaries. Luminaries are a game impacting plot device, beautifully illustrated, and these are going to go in the corner here. The Solitaire rules do not use any of the expansions. And it does not use the rake. So I'm going to get rid of that. I'm going to move that over here as well. I will shuffle these up. And these are going to get dealt out, one in each corner. The goal of regular Illimat is to get 17 points. In Solitaire, you're trying to get reveal and collect all 4 of those luminaries. So I'm going to take a look at what I didn't get. So in this case, it's the children. Let me just pull up my list. There's also, I think I said a second edition, new rules. I have the regular rule book here. I probably could just find this information there as well, but I'm going to pull it up here. These are just slightly updated rules. They are a little bit clearer. The children. So if I were to reveal the children, when the children is revealed, deal 3 cards, if available, beneath the children. These cards are kept hidden and are not revealed to any player. When you claim the children, these cards are added to your harvest pile, so you get extra points, theoretically. You may examine them, but do not have to reveal their values to other players. Also in Solitaire, you're not dealing with things like winter as a negative. So winter cards can cause frostbite and therefore negative points. That's not a thing here. It has not autumn, not fall. Must be a British game. Or, you know, some of us are just good. So I have no idea what these 4 are. Here are the main cards. I'm going to tuck these over here. There are 5 suits. There's also a handful of player aids. I can tell you what the different points are. These are not as relevant. But I'm going to keep that there just as a cheat. So here's some of the cards look like. 5 suits: spring, summer, winter, and autumn, and stars. So I'm going to deal these out into 3 of these into each of these fields. And I will kind of go through these rules as I need. Oh, there's a lot of face cards there. That's a lot of face cards. I forget what the Fool does. The Fool does have extra impact. Normally, you would then draw a hand. For Solitaire, I'm going to play these face up. You must play them in the order drawn. So I'm actually going to say this bottom card is going to be the one I can play. So my hand is a 4. Fool of Winter, 1. 5. Queen of Spring, 12. So how I play this, I can either owe 1 card, meaning I can discard this card into one of these fields. I can harvest. I can collect cards that match the value of whatever card I play, in this case, a 4. That can be a single card. That can be multiple cards. As I take a look, I have I have a 4 over here. So, but it's winter in this field. In winter, you can't actually harvest. So that's going to cause me a problem. You can also stockpile. Combine your card with 1 or more cards in the field to create a new value. You can only do that if you have one of these. It's the same value in your hand. That is a problem, as I don't know that I can legally do anything. Let's take a look at what the solo rules have to say about this. Unique rule, must play. You do not draw cards until you've used all 4. We know that. Luminaries have slightly different effects. I can deal with that when I need to. Interestingly enough, it doesn't say. So, there's probably a fact somewhere. Oops. So I can't do anything with that. I don't know what to do. I'm just going to turn around and for demonstration purposes, I'm just going to cough. Forget I said anything else. Oh, look, autumn. I can't sow, but I can harvest. So I'm going to harvest those. If I were keeping this, this would be worth points. Now I've got my Fool. So I have to either sow, harvest. I can also stockpile. Now, one is much easier to deal with. In theory, oh, right. Fool is also worth 14. So I can also turn around and harvest that out of the summer. Because I'm playing a face card, I'm going to turn the Illimat season, and I just have to double check how much I do that. You'd think I'd be, more prepared for these streams. It's name or sorry, not name, number or combination of numbers. So if I had, this 12, I could do these two cards here, a 9 and a 3, because that equals 12. So it has to be the same or a group of cards. You can stockpile, which is combining cards into a pile. So I could actually turn around. I might do that on my turn, except that it's spring and I can't stockpile, and make that all one collective thing. But let me just quickly double check what I do, because, I'm bad that way. Changing the season. If you have played a face card, which I did, from your hand on your turn, rotate the Illimat so the season matching the card you played aligns with the field in which you played it. So I played the Fool of Winter. So Winter is going to switch over to that. So now, Winter, I can't harvest into that field. I can't sow into this field. It's autumn. Summer here. No restrictions. I can't stockpile during spring. So again, we are playing solo rules, so things are a little different. Next, I have to deal with this 5. And I suppose I could have just sown. That's what I screwed up at the beginning. All right, that's okay. Well, I can't do much with this 5. There's nothing I can combine it with to stockpile. Do I have anything? Does it add up to 12? So do I have a 7 out there? I do not. So I have to sow this into a field. I can't do it into autumn. I'm going to do it into spring. Now I get to deal with this Queen of Spring. So wherever I end up playing this, it's going to turn this Illimat again. And Queen is worth 12. And what did I say? I said I've got a 3 and a 9 here, so I could collect those two. Let's see what else I've got as a potential. Nothing. So we will do that. So we're going to turn spring over here. And then I will get 4 more cards. Technically, as I said, you do it in the order you draw. I'm going to do it bottom to top, as it is easier, but it is easier to deal them the opposite direction. So slight house rule. Yay, house rules. So I've got an 8 of winter, 7 of spring, 2 of spring, and the king of spring up there. So let's take a look at this 8. I cannot harvest in winter, and winter, unfortunately, is where this other 8 is. So that's not ideal. I've got a 6 here, not great. I've got those. I can't do much with this. That stinks. This is hard when you have to do it in order. This is hard. If I could just play out all of these, it'd be much simpler. But I have to sow it, so I'm going to have to sow it. I'm going to sow it over here because I don't actually want. I want to try and clear this field so I can show you how that works. Next up, I've got my 7. So again, what am I going to have to do here? I'm going to double check that I can do this before I do anything else. I know it works the other way around. I want to double check. What I'm looking for is to see if I can play 2 cards to collect. I just don't remember if that's the case. Because again, I'm too tired to be doing these streams. Ha ha ha, I'm a fool. In the meantime, feel free to call me a fool in the comments because I can see them. I can bring them on up. So please do that. Let's just take a look. See. Don't need that. Don't need that. Don't need that. Taking an action. Collect 1 or more cards from the field that match the value of your card, and the combination of cards that add up to the value of your card. In this example, you could play the 5 from your hand and get the 2 or 3. So I don't think I can play 2 cards to do 1. I'm going to play it wrong. For purposes of demonstration, I'm just going to take these 2 up to a 9, and I'm going to just harvest those. So now I've got this 13. The King of Spring, it's going to move Spring to wherever I go. I have a King of Autumn over there in Summer, so I'm going to just go right over there. I can take that. That's a 15. That's still just a 6. Yep, so that's the only thing I can do. So I'm going to take those. And the season changes. And I'm going to get another 4 cards. Knight of Spring, 5 of Winter, 6 of Stars, and a Fool of Autumn. Pity the fool for staying up with a fool. It's all good in the hood. Yes, it is. You're the least gangster person I know, Mark. That's just... Okay, so, once again, so the Fool can be played as a 1 or as a 14. So let's take a look at what I've got out here. I've also got a 6, a 5, and an 11. I've got an 11 over there. I've got Summer. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to stockpile this. I think. Yes. So I'm going to stockpile this on this 10. So now this 10 is considered one single element. And I'm actually going to switch these around just so it's more clear which one it is. So that's going to be 11. I do have an 11 in my hand, so I can do that. Now I've got a 6. I've got a 6, and I can't harvest in winter. I really wanted to... Oh, that makes me sad. That makes me super, super sad. All right, well, let's see what I got over here. So I've got an 11 or a... So that would not give me anything. I have to sow. And then I've got a 5 here. And I can... stockpile. I can stockpile in winter. So I'm going to take this 5. I'm going to stockpile it with that 6, which adds up to 11. I have an 11 in my hand, so I can do that. Now I get to play with this card. This is also a face card, so it's going to become Spring in that field. Now I've cleared this field. Next thing that's going to happen is this luminary is going to get revealed, and it is the Forest Queen. So let's see what the Forest Queen does. And we were going to use the rules here. The maiden, the Forest Queen, the river, the newborn behave normally. So let's just see what normally is, shall we? The Forest Queen. It is always summer in the field of the Forest Queen. When the Forest Queen is revealed, turn the Illimat so it is summer in her field. Cool, I'll do that in a second. As long as the Forest Queen is on the board, the seasons do not change for any reason. When you claim the Forest Queen, which I will do by clearing that field again, you may immediately turn the Illimat to any position. Excellent. So, ease summer. This is... That's not... have this feeling that did I deal off of this last time? I've got my other deck of cards here that I should have dealt with from. I'm going to put those over there so I don't forget them as much, but I have this stinking feeling I did. So we're going to put that over here just to make it more obvious that that's what those are. I'll take these over here so they're right out of the way. So I've got a 5. Of course I've got a 5 because I can't do anything with that. Oh, I also screwed up. 3 of these should have gone in here. So these are the first 3 that I drew. So these will actually go into this field. All right. So we've got that as summer. That is correct. We've refilled that field. Yay. All of this is working. I'm sure y'all are laughing at me if you're watching this. But again, wherever you are watching, please do give me a like, share, follow, all of those fun things. Let's take a look-see. So I've got a 6. I got a 6 there. I can't harvest the 6 that's over here. And I've got a 7. Also convenient, actually. I've got a 4 and a 5. 12. Yeah, so we're just going to do that. We're just going to immediately collect that. Immediately collect that. Now I get to deal with this 4. I'm going to have to sow it, I think. Yep. So I'm going to put it in there because I potentially could... No, you know what? I'm not. I'm going to sow it into this field. Because I might then be able to stockpile this after this gets cleared out. You can't stockpile in spring, but hopefully I'll get to do something soon. So now I've got this 5. Same problem that I had previously. I can't actually stockpile it at all because I don't have any cards in my hand. I can't harvest that winter. So I'm going to have to sow it somewhere. And I think I'm going to sow it into autumn. And then I'm going to slide that in the middle because I'm just going to... this is going to be it. This is quite convenient. All right. So, no kidding, I'm going to go... This was autumn. I can't sow there. But I can stockpile there. That's what I should have done. All right. Night of summer. Convenient. Bang. That allows me to collect this luminary. So I'm 1/4 of the way to winning that. The number around the board. So, in a regular non-solitaire game, this is your score. The goal is to get up to 17 points. That is not the goal of the solitaire. In solitaire, you are trying to get all 4 of the luminaries that are on the board. If this was not clear, or if you're new, to do that, I need to clear the field. And that will reveal the luminary in that field. It gets resown. And then I have to clear it again to get that luminary. And I'm going to double check if I resow it again. I feel like I don't. Clearing a field. Let's see. If there are unclaimed ocuses, that doesn't count. Revealed face. If I revealed, I do not reseed the field if any of the following conditions are true. If there were no unclaimed ocus tokens, that's irrelevant in solo. And you did not reveal a face down luminary. Field lies fallow. All right, perfect. So, yay, that's done. Because I collected the Forest Queen, I can change to whatever I want. So let's just take a look. So next thing I have to deal with is a 13. So before I change this, let's just take a look if there's anywhere I can deal with that. So those are a 10, that's an 11, that's a 16. There's not a lot of options here for a 13. Haha. I'm going to end up having to sew it, is what's going to happen here. And I'm not even going to move the Illimat because it's going to get turned back into the summer anyway, so I'll just leave it right there. No, I'm not. No, I'm not. Because I can't, again, I can move this because of the Forest Queen. After I've collected, I can change it. I can stockpile things. I can also just collect from here. And there's my 9 and 4, 13. There we go. And because I played a face card, summer now goes there. Now I've got a 2 and a 12. This is easy. Thankfully, this is moved. I can now stockpile. Look, it's a 12. And because now it's this, bang. And again, face card. So I'm going to move it to summer. Summer's already in that field. Now, hopefully, something's going to pull up that I can deal with this 8. Now, I house ruled this earlier. So if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But I'm going to take both of those. I'm pretty sure it's that is not legal. I have to do it the opposite direction, but I'm still going to collect that, which then reveals this guy. The Maiden. We will double check first with the Solitaire rules. The Maiden was played normally. Let's pull up the Maiden. The Maiden. While the Maiden is on the board, winter has no effect. I like that answer. Cards may be harvested from the winter field. This effect occurs even if the Maiden isn't in the winter field. Perfect. So winter, it's a nice mild winter. I like this. So now I've got a 3 and a 12. What am I going to do here? I think I'm going to sew it back into... I don't want to sew it back into that field because I want to be able to do stuff. Oh, there we go. Oh, that's an 11. I can't do that. Actually, no, I can do that. So, here's another way of stockpiling. That's 11. So I turn this one sideways. There's 2 ways to stockpile. Adding them up, in which case something could get added to it. As soon as I put that card cocked like that, it is now locked as an 11. So now it's 2 11s. No, I can't do that because I have a 12. Never mind. But I will still sew it into that field because that will eventually be very valuable. Now I have to deal with this here queen. And I don't like that answer. So, well, I will drop it there. Plays. So that's been sewn. Having to do these in order really is a bit of a terrible thing, or at least a pain in the butt. So I've got a 6. I do have another 6 over there, so that's good. That would have been useful before. So I'm just going to take that 6, or yes. So I've harvested that 6. I've got a 5. I'm going to add it to this other set of 5s. Can I add it? Oh, I can't add it to that set of 5s because it is... I'm going to double check my rules on that. New value. Season stockpile. Pick a value that matches the card in your hand. You must keep this card in your hand for the duration of the turn. Play a different card from your hand that matches the value. Form the card you played into a stack, matching and or adding up to match. So okay, I can play that, it looks like. Card stack matching value you picked should be placed on top. Turn 90 degrees. This indicates the stockpile value. I still think I can do that. Any player can add cards to the stockpile on their turn, matching or adding up to both its value of the card. Maybe I can't. Also, I have to have it in my hand, so that's also just can't do that. On your turn, any player can harvest a stockpile. All right, so I got to deal with this 5. And I can... Nope. Guess I'm just going to have to... I know what I'm going to do. We can just sow it. I've got this 2, and I got a 7, so I'm going to make that into a 7 with a stockpile, and then harvest it. There we go. Full of Spring. So that's a 14 or a 1. And I've got a 4, 3, and a 10 I'm going to have to deal with. I can stockpile this onto the 3 because I've got a 4. That also leaves me without this 3. And nothing I can really do with that 3. So either way, I'm getting rid of the 3. But I've got it hosed for this 3 over here. If I do it as a 14... I can play it as a 14 and collect those. That becomes Spring. So, again, just to show you what that did, I played a 14. These cards add up to 14, so I was able to harvest those. Now I'm stuck with an 8 in that field. Can't do anything with that one yet. Well, I can't sow into this field because it's autumn. I will just sow into the winter field. I can't harvest there. Doesn't matter. 3. I will similarly just sow that. 10. I can harvest. 7, 8, 9, and a Fool. I can't harvest. I can't harvest. No. Maiden does. I can't harvest because the Maiden that ignores winter. Am I right? Am I remembering that right? Is that the rule that I said? The Maiden. Winter has no effect. Ha! Winter has no effect. Look, it's a 7 that I've just harvested. Doesn't help me a whole lot because there's nothing there for me to gain, but it's there. So I've got an 8. I can harvest, and we now have the Changeling. So let's take a look, see what the Changeling does. We'll start with the rules here. You may use the power of the Changeling once every 4-card hand. You can only exchange the card you are about to play. That will make more sense when I tell you what they do. I kind of remember, because I only half remember. The Changeling. Once during your turn, or as I pointed out, once during each 4-card hand, you may exchange a card from your hand with the card in the same field as the Changeling, which is there'll be 3 there in a minute. You may do this at any point in your turn, either before or after you play. You can't exchange cards that are part of a stockpile. The act of exchange does not change the season. You cannot use the Changeling on the turn in which you reveal it. So I won't be able to use it on these next 3 cards. Queen of Stars. 10 and an 8. And what was this? Could you harvest half a stockpile, for example? If you had the 5s, could you take... I think I can, because they all are still just 5s. No, they become a 10. They're one thing. They're a 10, so I know I could not. If I had, where's those 5s? So because they were like this, that makes them a 10. Now, if I had played it like this, that would have locked the value as a 5. And then, yes, I could. All right. So I cannot use this changeling. I have a 9. I've got a 14 there. Or a 1. I can... I'm going to have to sew it. I hate that I have to sew it, but I'm going to sew it. So I will sew it here. Then I've got my fool. I'm going to put the fool here. That also switches it to summer, but it's already summer there. So now I'm going to be able to use that changeling. Three. So I've got a 13 here, 10 here. Cannot stockpile in spring. But I can exchange a card that I'm about to play. So I think if I exchange it for that 8, I'm still gonna have to deal with this 8, which is kind of terrible. So we will sow the 8. That leaves me with a King of Winter. Winter doesn't matter, but I will take those. 10 and 3 equals 13. That becomes winter, but again, winter doesn't matter right now. 10. My plan for this 10 was to stockpile it onto this 1. And I could have made an 11 there. I'm going to use the same house rule I did before, where I can combine these two to collect that 12. Unfortunately, that means I've also collected the changeling, which does mean I'm halfway towards winning. This field remains fallow. $11. So, yeah, I'll harvest that. 13. Not much I can do with this 13, thank you very much. Well, we will can't sow it into autumn. I can still sow into winter, so I'm going to do that, I think. And that does change. I think it changes to whatever I want, but I'm just going to leave it the way it is, because that was a star. 2. I will sow it into spring. 9. Harvest. Now, we're going to stop for half a second. I think I'm about to lose this game. I'm just going to double check my my end game here. If there are fewer than 3 cards remaining when a luminary is revealed, it's discarded, and full victory is impossible. Okay. Variation solo. Goals to reveal and collect all luminary. Challenging but possible. 3 cards face up in each field. Do not place any out. Okay, the rake is not used. Any of these luminaries for the expansion will be used this. Deal 4 luminaries face down. Deal yourself 4 cards face up. Play proceeds as normal. And think if I'm right, I basically will get to play these out. I will not win this game. 8 harvest, 12 harvest, which does collect me the maiden, and a 4. I can't do squat with it, but that does. I have now lost the game, so I have no more. I can no longer do anything. All the other cards have been played. I have collected 3 of them, so that's good. We're going to clear all of this, though. Let's see what that last luminary would have been. Last luminary would have been the Union. And the Union, when harvesting from a field of the Union, you may combine your current card with the next card in your hand. So you harvest using 2 cards, but the choice is limited. So there we go. I house ruled myself to having the Union. Oops. That's okay. So that is Illimat, the Solitaire rules. I might play another one. I can do another round here. But let's just take a quick look over here. So again, this has been Illimat, created by the band The Decemberists and Twogether Studios, Keith Baker. And second edition has just come out. The second edition rules are very, very similar to the main rules. There's slightly different finish on the cards, which may or may not make a difference. It would theoretically make a difference when you play the expansion luminaries. So you've got the new False Baron set that is coming out. All of these are technically have started shipping. However, they on the Twogether Studios website, it is still, which I will bring up right now because I can. These are still showing as pre-order, but the pre-orders have started shipping. So, yay for that. And we will get rid of that. Boop. So let's do one more, because that didn't take terribly long, other than me fiddling and fuddling and cheating a bit. Yeah, that's interesting. All right. And we need some new luminaries. So, taking out the rake, there's still 3 here. So I'm just going to deal those out. And I will shuffle these other ones out. There we go. So I got a 6 to start things off. Cannot sow into autumn, but I can harvest. So I could harvest that 6 there. And I think that's what I'm going to do. Or I could stockpile this and become a 12. In fact, let's do that, because that's just fun. So I'm going to stockpile that. And that's now 12. I have a 9. 5 and a 5. I didn't shuffle these nearly well enough is the short answer to this. I'm going to have to sow this. So I will sow it into... I'm going to sow it into the... No, can't. That's autumn. I can't sow there. I'll sow it, I guess, into winter, because that gives me the most opportunities to muck around with that. We have our 12, our Queen of Autumn. So I can collect that 12. And that becomes autumn, but it's already autumn. Now I've got another 12, Queen of Stars. Do I have anything that becomes a 12? I've got an 11. I got a 14. I got another 14. I do not, in fact, have a 12. So I'm stuck and will... I will also drop it into winter. I can move things around. I'm going to double check the actual rule on playing stars. Anytime I've had a group game, I've never actually had to play with stars because you don't use it in a 2 and 3 player game. I just want to double check exactly where that gets moved. Stockpile. Stockpile, taking action. Where's my face card rules? These are not helpful. I just not do it. Harvest, so stockpile. I forget what stars does. Yeah, beginner mode, don't play with stars and luminary cards. That's what it was beginner mode that I was doing before. Yeah, you'd think I would, like I said, know what I'm doing. No, that's no fun. Is it? No. Of course not. Where's my rolling face cards? My stockpiles, use the seasons. I swear. There was a... I swear the stars did something different. Do you think I can find the thing? Element in the seasons. No restriction. Changing the season. There we go. If you played a face card, your hand rotate. If you played a card from the stars suit, you may decide which season the field has changed. There we go. I thought that's what it was, but I didn't want to cheat more than I already have been. So I want to... I don't think I need to stockpile there, but I don't need to sew into that anymore, so I'm going to do that. Yeah, that seems right, because I don't need to stockpile anything there. Nope, I want to be able to harvest there. I am just going to leave winter there. I don't need to harvest from there. No, I can definitely make that work. All right. Any cards flying? 2, 10, 9, and 4. I can stockpile this 2 with this 8 to be a 10. I don't think I want to do that because I can also collect these 10s over here. I can't harvest there, but I could stockpile the 2s into a 4. I could... 7, that's... Fool can be a 1. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to make that fool a 1. 3... No, I can't do that. I can't do what I'm thinking. I'm doing math wrong. I can't do that because I don't have a 12 in my hand. So I will just, yeah. I can't harvest there, so I will stockpile it as a 4, because I do actually have a 4 up there, so I can do that. I have my 10, so I'm going to... I can harvest these 2, or I can harvest those 2 as a 10 and reveal that. And that seems, because this is solitaire and that is the point, I'm actually going to do that. What do we got? The children. Let's remind ourselves what the children do, shall we? In the solo rules, when you collect the children, keep the 3 cards face up as a second hand, and I can play these cards whenever I wish, in any order, Once the second hand is exhausted, it is not refilled. So I'm going to, just for the record, I do know what it does, but I'm going to read it out anyway, if I can find it. The Children. When the Children is revealed, deal 3 cards if available beneath the Children. These cards are kept hidden and aren't revealed to any player. When you claim the Children, these cards are added to your harvest pile. You may examine them, but do not have to reveal their values to other players. So, these now become... I get 3 more cards here from the Children. 2 and 3. 3 more cards are going to go into here. That's not terrible. And I can play... So, now I can play any of these 3 in any order. These 2 I have to do in order. So I have a 9 that I have to deal with next. Well, that's frustrating. Well, I'm going to wait on this just to make it happen. And I can move, but I'm going to be able to move things. So let me just see. Because I can still play this. I can collect this guy. Actually, I can collect all of those. This is the only time I'm going to get to do that. So let me just see if there's anything else I want to do before I do that. I have another 4 here. So I'm going to... If I stockpile... I have a 9. I can stockpile this to be a 9. That works out well. I have these that I can, again, still can play in any order. Can't harvest from the winter. But I think I'm going to now deal with this. So, oh, no, I'm going to lose that if I do that. I don't want to do that. I'm just going to stockpile it and make that a permanent 12, because why would you not? And then now I will take these. That is the King of Stars. I can move things wherever I want. This I collect. I need to be able to harvest. I don't think I need to stockpile anymore, so I'm going to move that way. Now I get to deal with this here, 9. So I've got 9 and a 9 stockpiled. Now I have a 4 that I have to deal with. Conveniently, I also have a 4 over there. So I've got 11, 7, 5, and 13. Some are over here, so I can do whatever I want. I can't sow into autumn, but I can certainly still collect those. So that, I think, is the best option. And that moves that to spring. So I can't harvest here, which is not currently a problem. So I'm going to want to play my 5 when I get to there into that field. So the 7 and drop into the fallow field, because that is fine. 5, and we'll drop into here. Those will add up to 13, which I can then collect. Revealing the river. And the river is played as normal. And the river. The more I play, the more my pages get mixed up. The river. When the river is revealed, deal 6 cards into the river's field instead of the usual 3 cards. If at the end of the round you have claimed the river and you are frostbit, you gain 2 points instead of losing 2 points. That's not helpful. Because I thought Frostbite doesn't do anything in Solitaire. I thought that was a rule you didn't have to deal with. I mean, I suppose it just would be fine otherwise, but... Play, do not draw new cards, so you've done all of them. Reveal and collect. That's the only goal. Harvesting the point, clearing the field. That's a good point. There's a bit of strategy in here, and points out that since collecting luminaries is the only thing that matters, harvesting out of that field down here is largely irrelevant. There's the luminaries. Where? I swear it said that when that doesn't matter. It can't matter because you don't score stuff. So I'm just gonna assume that was not correct entirely. I will deal 6 cards into there as normal, but the Frostbite issue doesn't come into effect because there is no scoring for other things. I'm just gonna slide that down. I can't stockpile into there. Now I'm gonna just get my cards. All right. A 4. I could do those, and that seems like the best option. So I've got a fool over there and a fool over there. Yeah, I think that's my best bet, is to collect those as a 4. Collect that as a 7. 10. Can't do much with the 10. I'm just going to adjust those. But I can't harvest in winter. I can't harvest in winter. No. Oh, shoot. Right. Before I forget that I've got those. I'm going to... I can't sow into autumn. I have yet another 10. So I will just do that. Just to make life... No, I'm not going to do anything, actually. Just leave them all like that. And then I will collect that fool. We still got a 12 over there I got to deal with. Conveniently, that's a 12 that just came up. So I've got a 13 to deal with first. Oh, fool. That was a fool. I got to change this. That was a fool of autumn. Doesn't actually change. All right. King of Summer. So 13. That's an 11. That's 12. That's 12. None of that is good. I guess I can just slough it off into summer, which does change things to summer, but it's already summer. I've got another fool, so I've got a 1 or a 14. I can't harvest. I could stockpile for some 11s. I can't stockpile into spring, which is unfortunate because that would have been ideal. Or I've got a 14. If I do a 14, I can collect those on a 14. Yeah, that's what we're going to do. We're going to collect those on a 14. Boom, boom. And that lets me change things around. So let's take a quick look. I have a 12. So I need to be able to collect that. Can't stockpile here. Can't harvest here. We're just going to switch that to this because I don't care about harvesting there. 12. There's my 12s. And that will reveal the Forest Queen, which is, I believe, winter doesn't matter. Or is it winter doesn't matter, or is it always summer? Let's just double check that. Forest Queen. It is always summer. I hate Do I hate that plan? I might hate that. I think I hate that plan. I'm going to read that entire thing because I hate that plan. I think I just hooped myself ever so slightly. As long as the Forest Queen is on the board, seasons do not change for any reason. Yep. I just kind of hosed myself. Okay, that's fine. So I can't sow into here. This becomes on. I can't harvest. I can't harvest. Well, I think. Oh, before I do anything else, refill that field. 6, 6, and an 8. Well, I can sow into winter, so I will sow into winter. I needs me a 10 and 11 is what I need. So, can't stockpile, but I can. I can't do that. I got 6s I can deal with over there. Technically, I can do that. I think that's the only thing I can really do. 2. I'm going to sow that into the summer field because I can definitely collect it with one of those if I needed. That's a terrible plan. I just screwed that up because I'm going to be collecting those with a 6. I've messed that up royally. 3. I will drop it into... I could put it there just in case I get another queen. No, we'll drop it there. Slide those guys over. 8, 4, 4, and a 14 or 1. So I've got a 10's worth in summer. Not much there. I stockpile that gives me 11, but I want to deal with that. 14. None of this is particularly helpful right now, which stinks. I'm just going to slough it into that. So that becomes Forest Queen overrules. 4. I've learned that I will not cheat and combine those the way I did last time. I can't harvest from here. We'll slough it into that. Let's harvest it because why not? 8. I can definitely harvest over there. So that's good. We are running out of cards here. 2. Hey. And that gets rid of the Forest Queen. I can now change this to whatever I want. So we will do that because it does not matter. Actually, this is going to work out quite well. 5, I just drop it into there. 9, I can totally collect those 2 9s. That also collects me the river. Night of Winter. Collect that. Which does make that winter, which sucks. So I am about to lose yet again. Because I can't move that. I'm just going to end up playing Can't Harvest in Winter. All right. Well, we'll just slough those both into there. We're going to play that. We'll play that, make it a 10. So I can still stockpile. Unless one of these is a... Well, that's helpful. I can in fact, play the King of Summer, or King of Autumn. But I have no 8. So I've now lost. Why am I on low power? Apparently I'm on low power because there's no power for some reason. How many cards can you stockpile if you lock a number to 10? as many as you want if it's 10s. So I could, if I stockpile that as 10s, that's fine. And this is now locked as a 10. By not locking it as a 10, it does give me a little bit more flexibility. It is a solo game, so it doesn't really make a difference one way or the other. But that is now 2 games where with which I have now lost. Let's take a look. So I would have had the newborn. And the newborn is normal, played as normal. And the newborn, when the newborn is revealed, it reveals the luminary in the opposite field, so which would have been useless. So if the newborn is in summer, luminary would be in winter. So if there's no luminary in that field, because it's already been claimed, randomly deal and reveal a new luminary from those not currently in use. So that would have... I was hosed. If that had come out, that there is just no way, because having already cleared that one first, I would have ended up with... Shuffle, shuffle, shuffle. A union over there. And the union... when I perform a harvest action in the field with the union, you may play 2 cards from your hand. So yeah, that was how I was cheating before. Well, so I've now lost 2 games. That's okay. You've got a little bit better idea of what we're doing now. So that is Illimat in the Solitaire version. As I said, that not the same rules as the regular edition. So we're going to pop this back over. That's what the box looks like. It has a sleeve on it, so that's why it looks kind of funny up there. But this, put this back in. Boop. This is actually the bottom of the box. So that's kind of neat. And then, as I said, there's the Crane Wife expansion. Just to show you what those look like, you get 6 new luminaries. You get the boat, the butcher, the island, the loom, the perfect crime, and the soldiers. And I could, and I think I will, take a look in the rulebook and see what those do. The loom lets you stockpile a card from your hand into the field containing the loom. You may do this at any point in your turn, either before or after you play. It ignores any restrictions of the season, and stockpiling a card in this way will change the season as usual. So if I were to stockpile a face card, it would move. When you claim the loom, discard your hand, then draw 4 new cards if they are available. The island. Once the island is revealed, and while it remains on the board, the effects of the season are ignored, and players may only interact with fields that contain the island. Well, that's interesting. Players may not sow, harvest, or stockpile cards in any other field, and cannot interact with luminaries in other fields until the island is claimed. This overrides the rake, which was not used in this because it does similar sort of things, and similar effects until the island is claimed. All other fields are ignored. The perfect crime, which is kind of a neat one. When you collect the perfect crime, you may take 1 Ocus from another player or from the Illimat. This occurs after you collect an Ocus from the Illimat, if one is available, for clearing the field. That comes into your multiplayer games, and I'm just not going to explain it. Sorry. The Butcher. When the Butchers are revealed, discard the luminary in the field directly opposite from them. So if the Butchers are revealed in a field that is currently summer, discard the winter. When you collect the Butchers, you may force an opponent to return a collected Ocus to the Illimat. However, this occurs after you collected an Ocus from the Illimat for clearing the field. That I'm glad you can't use these in solo play, because that, I think, would then be an auto loss, basically. Well, that would make strategy interesting, because you'd have to get that after to make sure that it doesn't... Is it when it gets revealed? Yeah, no, it's as soon as it's revealed. So yeah, it would just be an auto loss, unless you got lucky. Whenever you sow the soldiers, whenever you sow a field sow a card into the field containing the soldiers, sow an additional card from the top of the deck beneath it. This card is revealed when the card above it is harvested. Also, do this for the 3 initial cards seeded into the field when the soldiers are revealed. So there will be 3 visible cards and 3 hidden cards. You could totally do that in Solitaire. So I kind of hope they actually update the Solitaire rules with that, with some of these expansions. Because I also don't know anything about the False Baron expansion that's just come out. When you harvest at least 1 card from the field containing the boat, you may also harvest cards from the field directly across from it. When the boat is in summer, this allows you to harvest cards in winter. Excuse me. In spite of the season. But when the boat is in the winter field, you may not harvest. If you clear 2 fields at the same time, you receive the rewards for each field. Yeah, this is totally... and then some other additional variants. So yeah, no, that is kind of really cool. Let me just pop up the website here. So here you have the Twogether Studios, and they've got some blog stuff, some FAQs, and here's your they got some actual straight up playing cards, but it is still a 5-seat suit, and it is sold out. So it is basically the same as the Illimat ones. The Victory Book, which is where I got the solo rules from initially, although they are available directly on the website. They've got a bunch of different pins, the new False Baron set. As I said, it's showing as pre-order, but the pre-orders are shipping. The Saiji coin is also currently available. Pre-ordering the Crane Wife, again, that's just going to be because of the new texture on the cards. I don't think it really makes a difference. And a couple of different bundles of things. And then if you go, there is actually an Illimat website directly, which is not that. Forbid I should just, have that ready. And there is more to this than is showing, and I'm just not in the right place. That's okay. We will just stop sharing that now. So yeah, that is Solitaire Illimat. Thank you guys for hanging out with me in my chaos and more chaos. I definitely do want to say thank you to Twogether Studios, also for this fabulous mug from his Eberron camp D&D world. Thank you to the Legend of the Traveling TARDIS and Hanging with Web Show Media, who have sponsored the StreamYard that I'm using to put this out. I will not be on the Legend of the Traveling TARDIS for about the next 2 weeks, but those shows will go almost as, I think this week's show is going to go on Wednesday just because of scheduling post Pensacon, but they do have a wrap up on that. In fact, if I pop over here, I can even go bloop. Look, they're doing a wrap up of Pensacon. 3:30 a.m. You can go for another hour. No, I have not actually eaten yet. I did this when I did, partly because my roommates were not home. They are now home. And it is 8:30, so I should probably have some food. But yes, I will be back on Legend of Traveling TARDIS in a couple of weeks. I head off to SaltCon later this week here. I'll take part of that journey tomorrow and then the rest on Wednesday. And back into Canada next week. So, yay. Coming up in the foreseeable future, as far as I go, I definitely will be doing a solo of Nevermind the Distraction, which is just straight up a solo game. It is meditation gamified. It is a really neat and interesting game. So definitely join me when I do that. The Kickstarter on that launches, I believe, tomorrow. I think tomorrow. So You can definitely check that out. And other than that, I guess that's about everything I'm going to do. So I guess good gaming and goodbye.